Okay, let's look at the Cardinals draft generally.
Let's do that.
I noticed some posts from you on X.
Right.
You were very happy with a lot of their picks. And, boy, they got a boatload of picks, 2 first-rounders, 4 third-rounders. Are you kidding me? Look at all those selections to improve a team that just was not very good last year. What do you think of their class top to bottom?
I love it. I really do. That's why, you saw my reactions on X. Hey, here's a guy, well, I think it deserves credit, Monty Austin, for it. They made all those moves last year, right, to capitalize on this year's draft, because I think they kind of, could read the weather or whatever else, or the forecast of what kind of talent will be available next year in the draft. They obviously like that. But let's go through these names on this list. Marvin Harrison Jr., we've hit on that. Darius Robinson, other than Byron Murphy out of Texas, who went to the Seattle Seahawks, is the best interior D lineman in the draft. So they got a guy there where they needed it, right? Most people can't name a guy on the front 7 of the Arizona Cardinals. You will be able to name Darius Robinson. Max Melton, one of the best man-to-man corners in the draft. They needed a corner, right? Trey Benson's got a chance to be James Conner's replacement. He's got a lot of James Conner kind of build and traits about him anyways. Tip Raymond, Mike, I don't know if you remember him from the Combine. The tight ends couldn't move the blocking dummy. This guy got a standing roar ovation because he's got a big stonehead cinder block head, and he moved that thing easy, and he's a really good blocking tight end who I think is going to be better in the pass game than people give him credit for. And they got one of the more athletic safeties in the draft, and Taylor Demerson out of Texas Tech. I thought they killed it and they addressed positions they needed to address and had a little nuance to it. And, good for the Arizona Cardinals and Monty Austin for it.
I thought you were going to say he broke the sled like Switkowski in the longest yard.
No, it wasn't quite that. But they had the coach stand on there and they had the weight on there this year, and nobody could move it this year. And then here comes, if you saw a picture of Tip Raymond, you'd go, well, this looks like the guy that would move the sled right here. And he's old school tight end, but he's got a little more athleticism, and he's got this big body where it's like even if he's covered, he's not covered, and he can really block. They're going to be interesting this year. Arizona, I'm not saying playoffs, but we saw the way they played and competed last year. They're very well coached on both sides of the ball. They are going to be a pain in the ass in the NFC West. They're going to be the team that's going to ruin some dreams of some teams towards the end of this year. That's how I kind of feel about Arizona.
And great point about the Cardinals front 7. For me, the first name that came to mind was Chandler Jones, and he hasn't played there since 2021.
Right? There's nobody to speak of. So that's where they're in a little transition there of trying to find some difference makers on defense because, Chandler Jones is gone, right? Isaiah Simmons, a top pick from the last regime out of Clemson, didn't really work out, right? They drafted Zaven Collins out of Tulsa, right? I think you just wrote on your thing yesterday they declined his 5th-year option, so that hasn't quite worked out. He was kind of like, is he a middle linebacker? Is he an outside linebacker? We don't. So they haven't hit on those guys, and that's where they got to hope Darius Robinson hits for them out of Missouri.
Darius Robinson, Bilal Nichols, Justin Jones, Zaven Collins, Kaiser White, Chris Barnes.
Yeah, a lot of
and
solid.
Dennis Gardick.
Yeah,
currently the top 7.
Right. It's a lot of solid there, but nobody that defenses are going, or offenses are going, we got to do this and stop him or do that. That's where, hopefully a guy like Darius Robinson can be the DeForest Buckner. That's kind of who he looks like and reminds me of that defense.
They're telling me that we have some Tip Raymond videos.
Oh, I love it.
Bricketing the toy at the scouting combine. Let's see what we have.
He is just a big, thick stonehead, okay? He's a team that ran the ball the way they did. And again, you see, he's 6'5", he's 271, just so you see this guy moving a little bit, to just get a little bit of better picture. 271. And he is going to be like having an extra tackle on the field in the run game. And we saw they could run the ball last year in Arizona. They got it going, let alone, as you're seeing right here, right? He's going to be better in the NFL in the pass game than he was in college. And as we know, the NFL has more of a niche and more plays in the playbook for tight ends in the NFL, and the game fits it more. I think he's going to be one of the pleasant surprises of the 3rd round there for the Arizona Cardinals.
That's the one drill from the Combine that I could watch over and over again. And because the NFL has struggled for so long, although they seem to have figured out what a catch is, I always wonder when they catch it and drop it. Oh, did you take 2 steps?
Yeah, right. Let's go to the review.
A football move. Does that really count? Because it's like a quick hot potato and down the ball goes. But you get a good sense of a guy's overall athleticism and just hand-eye coordination and just ability to do what his brain tells his hands to do and keep going. So anyway, if that guy's 270 and he moves like that, he is going to be a problem.
Yeah, I think in Illinois, not a great offense. They didn't know how to use him, right? And he's going to be one of those guys that I think has a chance to be like we're watching and going, oh my gosh, look at this guy. He caught the ball over the middle and he's got 6 guys on his back like old school Mark Bavaro or Rob Gronkowski, and he's kind of a throwback that way to the 80s and 90s type of tight end, and I think there's a spot for that kind of guy in the NFL right now.
And apparently the Cardinals draft was so good, as somebody pointed out to you on X. The Cardinals draft so good, Florio hasn't written.
Oh, I know. We saw this.
About the Cardinals.
This is great.
3 days.
Me and Ahmed laughed about that.
Negatives articles just fun.
Yeah,
If there's something that needs to be pointed out, I point it out.
Right.
We aren't going to lie to you. We aren't going to skew things toward glass half full. And I know so many fans out there, like they want to read positive all the time. They want to have reason to believe when they go to bed at night, wow, we might win the Super Bowl this year. And they don't want to hear anything that could puncture that fantasy that gets them through the offseason. I get it. But I'm not going to traffic in that world, and I never have. If you want to find that crap, you can find it anywhere. There's plenty of people out there that will pander to you just to get you to give them clicks and views. Go to them. If you want reality, if you want honest, unvarnished opinions, come here. And if you have an owner that maybe isn't running the team the way that he should for the team to be viable and competitive and a contender on a year in and year out basis, don't you want that to be out in the spotlight so maybe you get a better owner at some point? Because that's the one thing you can't fire, as Jed York said 7-8 years ago. Can't fire the owner. Sometimes maybe you need to. Sometimes maybe you need to rise up. So anyway,
I hear you. Valid points. I know. I think he was just
having
fun.
But still, a good draft.
Yeah.
I know, but it's the attitude. I live in that all the time.
I hear you. It wears
you
you
have
out.
to write in every article. You have to find a way to say, hey, this team could win the Super Bowl this year. Hey, how about this team?
Yeah.
Go that team. Go this team. Hey, oh yeah, go Bills, go Bears, go this, go that. We love them all. We love them all. We love them all. That ain't our shtick. There's another show if you want that. Oh, wait, they're off for 5 months. Well, they were back for 2 days, but they're off for 5 months. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.